Yo, these women's divisions are trash.
Okay, way to open the show. What a way to open the show.
Nah, I'm just joking.
Nah, you're not joking, bro. You know you being dead serious.
Nah, this.
I mean, to be frank,
AEW's like,
right.
listen, AEW's listen. I wasn't joking with that. Like that division over there is pathetic. You got
know what I think it really is though. It's not even that these divisions are trash. I think it's they just none of them are living up to their potential. That's what it is for me.
Yeah.
That both of them have great people in the locker room, and both of them are just, using it like toilet paper, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the AEW women's division, like I was mentioning earlier, you got women that's on their way out. You can tell that the division doesn't get this much time. You got Jade Cargill, which to me they have no end goal for sis
at all.
They had her squash Athena, and it was just like this. To be honest, it's like literally nobody left other than a Red Velvet.
Honestly,
that's how I feel.
I've
been saying that. I know that's an unpopular opinion. I know y'all ain't feeling Red Velvet too much, but I feel like if there's one person that should come back at the throne, sis, at this point, ain't gonna be no destination. That ship has sailed.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
A long time ago. Honestly, like it should have been Athena. It should have been Athena, and the reason why I say that is because there's nobody else. I think talent-wise, actually, I don't want to say nobody else, but I think she has the combined talent and the name to be able to have taken that belt off of her and to be believable while doing it. While I do think that AEW's women division has some sleepers in there, I think talent-wise, the women just are very, very shaky.
It's just it's a good division. Like you got a DMD, you have a Hikaru Shida. You have,
that's my girl, Shida.
Shida. I mean, we had Toni Storm, which is the interim champion. Thunder Rosa was the champion, but she just relinquished the belt, and also she asked for her release.
Yeah.
Thunder Rosa.
Which is sad because a lot of people are saying that
after what TK said. I think after what TK said, kind of put the nail in the coffin when it came.
Okay, my thing about the TK comment, let's address that elephant in the room. It's sucky because while he never should have said it, it's not completely untrue. And I think that's the problem, like I said, with with AEW, is that they do not have a tight rein on anything. People say whatever they want. We just said this in the other video. People say whatever they want online. They say whatever Twitter. They want in promos. They say whatever they want on Twitter, Instagram, podcast. They say whatever they want, and it's just like you can't run a tight-lit company.
It's cool for us to say something like that, but your boss, the head guy, can't be saying that.
Yeah,
you can't be admitting to certain things like that.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, TK basically came out and said that between
CM
Punk and Thunder Rosa, they were asking him how come Thunder Rosa doesn't get enough time, and he was basically saying between Thunder Rosa and CM Punk promos is gonna draw more. And I mean, once again, it's not wrong.
It's not wrong.
But at the same time, also, I will say also in his defense that the question, a lot of people just take his quote, but they don't realize that that's the question that was asked him. Like, why is it you give CM Punk more time and not Thunder Rosa? And the thing is that even with a woman, you can give these women 8-minute promos. Thunder Rosa herself is just not that strong on the mic, unfortunately.
Well, I just feel like he just...
No, he definitely should not have said it.
He shouldn't have said that. And
I'm
also,
just
when
playing
it came
devil's advocate and saying why it is that.
Yeah, but when it came to Thunder Rosa, I just felt like it got to a point with Thunder Rosa he gave up on because if DMD was going away, he would have gave that.
Yeah,
he would have gave DMD.
I mean, we know DMD is the golden child.
She's the Charlotte of that.
We know she is, but the thing is that unfortunately with Thunder Rosa, it's just the wrong place, wrong time. Because the time to pull the trigger on her was months ago.
Mm-hmm. Way before she got the belt.
Way before. It was months ago. The time to let her just go off and be the champion and like be the face of that women's division. That she had her white hot era, and they let it dwindle down and die. And that's why now when she got the belt, it was like cute, whatever. It was like cool. but it really didn't feel like it meant anything. It was just way too late at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like a Liv Morgan where it was like we're seeing her, you know, literally scratch and crawl her way to the top.
Mm-hmm.
Thunder Rosa had her moment at the top and should have been the face of the women's division, and the interest after a while naturally died. And it just sucks that she had to be put in that position. But AEW in general, the women are just not...
What about Toni Storm?
Toni Storm, I feel like she found her footing. But this is something I said we talked about before, is that I don't know what it is about AEW, but I feel like everybody who comes to AEW ends up worse. I keep saying that, and nobody has proven me wrong yet. It's like you have these women who are just such great workers in WWE, and when they come to AEW, they just become so just bad.
Just like that finish that you saw the other night.
Yes.
With that little... I think she tried to do like the Mickie James DDT, and it would just happen all in slow motion.
Yeah, it was in
no
her
flow.
match. Yeah.
It was just like...
It was just so awkward, and I just feel like with the women in AEW, unfortunately, like that division needs to be turned on its head. People are saying, oh, TK doesn't care about women's wrestling. I feel like, once again, and I'm not a TK fan at all. Don't hear me like saying like that. But also people are kind of giving him, you know, flack for what, the same thing that Vince does. Like, even Triple H, like, I'm sorry, but this last week's, fatal, like, 5-way, like, that match to me,
I think
like,
the women on SmackDown...
That got me so mad, I turned it off.
That last episode of SmackDown, the women got a combined... They from the match previously, because it was Toxic Attraction versus Raquel Gonzalez Rodriguez,
smiling,
and Aaliyah, of course. You know, but that match was not that long either. Yeah, and then they went right into the Fatal 5-Way match.
And I was thinking, first of all, at first I thought it was going to be the main event of the night, and then when they announced it, and it wasn't.
No, you ain't.
Babe, I thought the way that they announced it and the way they was promoting it on Twitter,
I thought it was going to be...
I thought it was going to be the... But here's the thing, you can't... Like, Triple H has been putting the women in the opening spot and in the ending spot. It's not like unheard of. No, but the problem was...
They was going against the bloodline. That was the problem.
But my thing is, regardless of what it was, it's like Rhonda just embarrasses the women's division. I could do a whole video on just Rhonda, to be honest, but she embarrassed the whole division. Y'all had Xia Li and
who's legit,
and Lacey Evans tap out at the same time.
Mind you,
like 2 minutes into the match, I was just like, bro.
Mind you, Xia Li is as legit as you can get, and then you got also Lacey
Natty
Evans
wasn't there.
Natty, we already know she's
the first
legit.
One to tap out.
And Lacey Evans, this woman's a Marine. I know people laugh at this one, but like if you look at her background, she's a legit like Army veteran. So it's like you got all these tough women in the ring, and they're out in seconds.
And it's just so upsetting to me. So when people keep saying that, oh, TK don't care about the women's division, neither side does. And I want to say this right now. The people who keep saying, oh, that these people don't care about women's wrestling, these people don't care about the women, at the end of the day, they're not going to give you a product that you are not going to buy. So for people who keep saying, oh, that they're not giving the women enough time, at the end of the day, when they do give y'all time, y'all don't show it any interest. And here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with that. There really isn't. I don't like people shaming fans for not liking women's wrestling. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But it's like this weird thing where it's like, oh, you give the women more time, people don't watch it. Then you give the women less time, people are complaining because why are you not giving the women more time? At the end of the day, what they need to do is take the time they have and make the most of it. But if you're giving them 5 minutes, it should be a banging 5 minutes. But you're just giving them 5-minute matches where you embarrass 3 of the like 7 women you have on SmackDown roster. That's already so bare. It's pathetic.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, the division's got to get together. And if y'all think Salsa and Naomi's going to be the saving grace, I mean, it's going to be all cool in the first few weeks when they come back, but it's like they're going to enter back in this division where it's like there's no, like, to me, I feel like there's no plan. I think there's a reason
why they're not rushing back. I feel like there's a reason that they're not rushing back, and that's because it doesn't really matter who's at the top of the food chain. It don't really matter who's in charge. women are only going to get so much respect. That's that glass ceiling that people keep talking about being shattered. It's not shattered. Yeah. It's still there.
Both divisions got some serious problems.
Rattle off a couple of unpopular opinions or things that I think will get the women's division where it needs to get on both sides, starting with AEW. Unpopular opinion, Jade Cargill needs to drop that belt.
Yeah, I need y'all to realize that this woman is not going to sleep with y'all. Once y'all get it through your heads that this woman has a whole family, she got a whole man, she got a child, she got a daughter or something like that. You know, this woman is not going to sleep with you. And that's the same thing for Nikita Lyons. I'm just letting y'all know these women are not going to sleep with y'all. The fact that y'all
are letting bad wrestlers, let's call it what it is, or at least mediocre wrestlers,
remember, she's improving.
That's another thing. Like,
she's improving.
The fact that I'm hearing the word improving and champion in the same sentence,
and she's 37 in bow.
The fact I'm hearing improving and champion in the same sentence is a disgrace. You got women out there who can actually do the job.
Do this.
Who can, not only are they great in the ring, but they are great on the mic. Jade Cargill is not good at either.
Don't care. She is so forced.
I don't care. And she's a star. She's a star. She's a star.
She looks the part.
That's what it is.
She looks the part. She looks the part. And like I said, this woman is not getting into bed with y'all.
But
so once y'all get past that and actually watch this woman, she's just all looks.
Y'all are giving her a passing grade for doing the bare minimum. And like I always say, I don't reward fish for swimming. If your job is to go out there, be good on the mic, be good in the, at least not suck, then you're just doing your job. You're doing what they pay you for. I'm not going to reward you for that. I reward people for going above and beyond. And this girl does not do either of them. Mm-hmm. And the fact that she's undefeated, meanwhile, half of the time she's being carried in these matches, half of the time her opponents are making her look amazing, because honestly, they could outwork her any which way, shape, form.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the fact that they got to put the shoulders on the mat for her, it's a disgrace. It's so ridiculous. And the thing is that the only reason why she can get away with this is because she's in AEW. Yeah. I guarantee if she was in WWE, this would not be happening.
Oh, man. As soon as you hear that, listen. You listen. Sis will get humbled real quick. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, no shade when it came to Jade. You know, I thought she would,
all the shade.
Okay, all the shade. Yeah. I just feel like when it comes to her, there's no plan. Who is going to dethrone her? I think she ran through almost everybody. At this point, if it's not Red Velvet, which I think there's a story there, and I know a lot of people will be like, "Oh, y'all built this up to give it to Red Velvet." Who else at this point?
But you know what
unless you want to give it to DMD.
But you know what the sad part is about all of that is the fact that she ran through all these women. She ran through the entire division, and what memorable moments can you name?
She came out as She-Hulk.
Not a single one.
She came out as Jade. She looked like Jade in Mortal Kombat.
So her costumes. Her Party City costumes.
And it all goes back to how sis looks.
This is what
y'all remember. This is what y'all seen from the internet. Because the crazy thing is, any other match, I will see the finish online. You know, I could see the finish to the main event. When CM Punk lost to Mox. Or when CM Punk beat Mox. You see all these finishes on the internet. When it comes to Jade's matches, what clips do you see? How sis looks.
Yeah.
That's what you see. I've been trying to find this Athena match for like so long.
Honestly, you don't want to see it.
I want to see how this finish look.
Honestly, you don't want to see it.
The match was under 5 minutes.
The match is under 5 minutes because Jade is incapable of putting, and I hate that it sounds like I'm just dogging on this woman, but it is what it is. I would dog on anybody who I just do not feel deserves the championship. It'd be one thing if she was just another wrestler who just,
working her way up.
Yeah, working her way up. It's another thing when you're holding the belt, when you're holding
walking around here, all that stuff. And
yeah, it's ridiculous. Right. But like the fact that she is incapable of putting on a match longer than 5 minutes, that's the sad part to me. And that's where I feel like where WWE just completely dog walks AEW. Completely dog walks that division. That literally anybody in AEW can go to WWE and get better, but anybody who goes to from WWE to AEW gets worse. Especially with the women.
Now, there was some interest in Jade Cargill going to WWE not too long ago, of course, when they was looking at Wardlow and like MJF and all that stuff.
Who cares,
but it's just like the person I want to see go over to WWE is Red Velvet. She's a Cody Rhodes girl. And I've been predicting this for the longest. Even before Cody made the jump to WWE, I said that I would love to see Red Velvet and NXT.
And I think the way Red Velvet also brings to the table, I think out of all of the baddies, she's the only one.
She's not even on TV.
She's the only one that actually had a form of personality.
Yeah.
Kara Hogan is just a lost city girl. She's a suburban girl.
Period.
She's a city girl from 2017.
Period.
Why are we still saying this?
That's on. Period.
But WWE, and don't get me wrong, there's so many ways I want to rip WWE's women division apart, because right now SmackDown is in the trenches.
Liv Morgan is the champion. She don't look believable. And then we got Bianca Belair.
And that's my thing.
Which we support the EST.
But here's the thing. We support all these women. We support all these women, even if it doesn't sound like it, because what we genuinely want is people to do better. And the thing with Liv Morgan is the fact that we worked so hard for her to get to this point, just for her to be treated like she's still...
Like she's weak.
Like she's still weak and pathetic. Like she doesn't deserve the title. And I feel like this is why I personally want to stop seeing these MMA women in here. I want to stop seeing the Rondas. I want to stop seeing the Shaynas, because they make the rest of the women look like less than competition. They make them look like they're not nowhere near their stratosphere. And people keep saying, oh, well, you know, we got to make it look believable. We know realistically Liv Morgan would never beat a Rhonda Rousey. But how many women in that locker room look believable? There's a couple of them, but after a while, and this is what another thing about Rhonda that nobody wants to mention, is that Rhonda's gimmick has a short shelf life. Because there's only so many matches she can have with people that are technically quote unquote believable. Maybe like 5 or 6 opponents. And after that, then what?
The only person that it probably stack up against is like a Charlotte, maybe a Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
you have Charlotte, you have Shayna, you have Bianca.
You could put Becky in there.
And then after that, it's what? You gonna get Sonya Deville in there?
No, we gonna get Raquel.
They had their match. Raquel lost.
Rhea, I
can see that.
This version of Rhea, to be honest, I think this version of Rhea should be Raw Women's Champion.
But even, probably.
This version of Rhea should be, they need to run that back, because remember, that was the match that was supposed to happen.
Honestly, I could see that
Bring that title to Judgment Day, and then somehow, some way, get those tag titles on Finn and Damien.
The point is
Dominic can be the usher.
The point is that Rhonda is just going to keep, and I don't buy that whole, I want to make the division better, I wanted to put the title on Liv. The reason is that she realized that nobody cared about her run, and now that's why she's feeling so altruistic after a while, because she already burned through most of her career. And that's another thing I'm not liking with her, and you know, that they did with Bianca. You already gave Ronda the Royal Rumble. You already gave her a match at WrestleMania. You already gave her a match at Backlash. You already gave her a win at SummerSlam, at Money in the Bank. You already gave her all this stuff. No, she did have
the match at SummerSlam.
Okay, but my thing is that you gave her all these wins already.
No, what she
lost at SummerSlam.
Technically she won.
The point is that there's nothing left for her to do, and she's gonna run through the rest of these women, and then what? You mentioned
the EST, which we support, of course. The EST, she basically ran through her career. Like, she won the Royal Rumble. She main evented WrestleMania 2. She won both titles at WrestleMania. Won in the main event.
Won an Elimination Chamber.
She won the Elimination Chamber. The only thing she hasn't won yet is the Money in the Bank. But Bianca Belair winning Money in the Bank.
It's like
the EST in the bank. What are we gonna call that? That is something that needs to happen 5-6 years from now.
All I'm saying is that both divisions need work. AEW is right now at a D, and
I'm waiting for Becky to come back. Don't wait for the Mind to come back.
WWE, their Raw women's locker room looks a lot better than SmackDown. This draft needs to happen, and it needs to happen quickly.
Bring back Carmella.
Yes. I'm bad. Yeah. Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
I love me some Carmella.
Bring her back
We call
and
Mella
even-
fans over here.
Yeah, even Charlotte, which is